Hi all, welcome back to my channel. This is Bamglam DIY. We'll be experimenting on the making of anti-dandruff hair cream. We'll be using two different recipes to have two different outcomes. One will be softer, just like the one we are seeing on your left, written less wax. It's jelly. It's good for people who are in more colder regions, colder countries, while the one on the right hand, which I wrote more wax, is actually perfect for those in hot countries. So this anti-dandruff hair cream in the market, we see it as Sulphur 8 plus. Is written as a hair treatment cream. Is used for the treatment of anti-dandruff. It also helps to remove all those scales that dandruff causes on the scalp. Then we also have the Menthol. And the major thing about these two products is that they are very hot on the hair when you apply it. This attribute owes to Methylsalicyclate. This is a mixture of salicylic acid and methyl ether. We tend to see salicylic acid in hair products that is boldly written for dandruff treatment. Yes, it helps remove those scales off your scalp. It is also seen in facial products that is actually meant to target acne issues. It's a very good exfoliating agent. In hair products, it is good for people who has dermatitis, who has dandruff. You see it there in those products. So when you are talking about hair grease or hair food or hair cream, we apply it as Methylsalicyclate. It is actually very hot. It is also seen in most balms, like Carbonic balm, all those hot balms that we apply on our skin, on our body for pains and all of that. That is actually the major component there. So those in the hair production line also borrows it to make products that are meant to target dandruff. You see it in shampoos written anti-dandruff shampoo. It gives you this heat and hotness. Immediately you use it to wash your hair. It is also there in the hair grease, hair food, hair creams. So we are going to be using it today. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel. Before we start running this recipe together, please, have you liked the video? Did you subscribe to my channel? Let me give you a second, let you do that. Okay, thank you for liking my video and thank you for subscribing to my channel. So this is the measurement we are going to start working with first. So we are going to be measuring everything and then we'll place it on heat to dissolve before we can continue. So for this first tryout, we'll be using 5 grams of paraffin wax to harden this mixture. Remember that you can use paraffin wax or you can also use stearic acid to actually harden your hair cream or your hair grease. It's actually hair grease because it's greasy in nature afterwards. And then our components for today is the methyl salicyclate, which is I've already measured into the oil, and then we are going to be using some sulfur. Sulfur is also used in products that are actually targeting dandruff when we are talking about hair care world. So for the sulfur, I'm using a 1/4 tablespoon for this particular measurement. It has a bad smell. It has this smell. I won't really call it bad, but it has a sulfur smell. So don't bother adding any fragrance because it won't die off. So what I'm holding in my hand now is peppermint oil. Peppermint oil is is something you can use to replace menthol crystals. In case you don't see menthol crystals to buy, both peppermint oil and menthol crystals gives you that effect of cooling effect. It gives you that chills, like when you apply hair cream or shampoo or conditioner on your scalp and you feel it giving you that coolness on your scalp. It's actually this attribute owes to peppermint oil or also menthol crystals. So you can use either of them. Like I said, if you don't have paraffin wax, make use of stearic acid. So once you have dissolved everything together, add the sulfur, dissolve everything. You may find it difficult dissolving the sulfur powder. It takes a time for sulfur powder to actually blend into oil perfectly. So give it some time and dissolve well. You also see it settling behind in the in the container I'm using. So I tried as much as possible to mix it thoroughly, dissolve everything, and then pour into a sterile container. Make sure that the container you are using is sterile. So at this point, if you actually feel to add in fragrance, do well to add in at least 0.5 ml of a fragrance, a quality fragrance, or 1 ml. And then vitamin E oil is also optional. Like I said, we are experimenting textures today, and not really, we are doing this together. I'm not teaching you, but we are doing it together today. So I'm making this video because of some persons that when they contact me, they tell me specifically that the recipe I want you to formulate for me for my products, I want you to actually consider the country I'm in, because most products, when you go to the market, people display it under the sun, and before evening it turns liquidy. It is actually expected. Heat is supposed to melt any wax also. You understand? Why those in the hotter regions, in the colder regions, they tend to experience it caking up or hardening up. So for those in the colder regions, they need formulas that has less hardening properties so that they will not end up with a block the next day. While for those in the hotter regions, they can increase their hardening agent, which is the paraffin wax and stearic acid, so that it can be hard enough. Thereby, if they actually distribute this product to those persons in the market that sells without any shade, under the pure sun, so you won't see your product dissolving. They won't call you, producer, the product you gave us, all of them has turned into water. No, you won't get such because of the recipe you're using. That's why I used to say that sometimes the recipes may actually be geographical. The geography of where you're staying, everything about you, climate, weather, may actually depend on the kind of recipe you see. So it's not every recipe you see out there on the internet you should jump into. After you jump into it, try as much as possible to test the stability and see if it is stable for you. Also, we should also try to put in consideration the quality of the things we use. I know that it's only few here who are into bulk production of jellies that know that there are two types of petroleum jelly in the chemical stores where you buy petroleum jelly. There is the hard one and there is the liquid one. If you use the liquid one for this measurement, you end up with a softer texture because it's actually soft. Why the harder petroleum jelly will give you what I'm having right now, because I'm using the harder petroleum jelly. I'm making up a video where I will teach people who wants to go into Vaseline or petroleum jelly production. I'll do a video of it. I'll try and explain these two types of petroleum jelly. So just subscribe to my channel. It will be the next 2 videos you will see, because this is actually Harmattan season in Nigeria, and those who are selling Vaseline or petroleum jelly are actually in business right now because children's skin are drying out. So for this second round, you saw the measurement I dropped on the screen. I increased the quantity of paraffin wax. I increased it to 20. So I added extra 15 grams of paraffin wax and melted it and then poured it back into the container. So for the first one, without colorant, I used only 5 grams of paraffin wax. Why right now I'm using total of 20 grams of paraffin wax. I hope you understand. I added extra 15 to the existing 5 grams to make it up to 20 grams. So you can see the difference is clear. The only thing I touched right now is my hardening property, which is the paraffin wax. And then I also included a color to it. I added yellow color because most anti-dandruff hair creams out there are yellow in color, so that it can suit your taste once you see it. Now this is the outcome. Can you see how it is a little bit difficult for even my hand to penetrate into it, but it is still it's still jelly, but it's still tough a little bit. I don't know how to explain the texture, but you can see it. And then it also greases on my hands and my palms perfectly. It shines. You can use it and hot press your hair. It serves as a hair grease pomade. It serves as an anti-dandruff hair cream. You can sell it out to those who have salons. You can also use it personally. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel.